Good morning, everyone. It's 18th January 2017, and welcome to another episode of ProAMT Traders Digest. Let me go through the disclaimer first. Trading in stocks derivatives involves substantial risk of loss and not suitable for all investors. Past or simulated performance is not a guarantee of future results. All systems, indicators, strategies shown here are for education purpose only. All levels discussed here are for understanding the study and not a recommendation to trade. Please consult your personal financial advisor before making any investment or trade decision based on anything that is discussed here. We will not be responsible for any resulting profits or losses. So let's have a look what Nifty has done today. So open just above this HVN inside the range of previous day and tried to push up above the high, got rejected and formed a very narrow IB and then a breakout in the C period. Now this breakout pushed through the point of control, which was a prominent point of control, and there were all anomalies here. And then there was an anomaly on the lower side. So in the push down in the D and E period, the anomaly got repaired, and finally G and H went lower, but started balancing within the 8417 8395 zone. So overall, it was not able to again push through that 8385, which I have been waiting for. And this rejection from the top is looking all right. But the way this range is forming up needs to resolve itself by breaking higher or lower. Now, again, it depends how it wants to react to higher prices, because if it would have gone above 8465 and rejected, would have been a clean rejection. Now it is trying to leave this upper balance, but not able to leave that as well. Now let's have a look at the 1 minute chart. A nice, if you can see, a triangle here, so a nice balance, and breaks down in a symmetrical move down. Again starts balancing, if you can see here, a stopping volume, and the reference is not valid because it is above this acceptance zone. So what we ideally require, a stopping volume into this acceptance zone, and that finally happened with this. It tried to push up higher, was again rejected at the POC of previous day. Now generally these rotations tend to push through the day mid and then reject. Though the software has plotted this point of control of previous day, but doesn't mean that that is the only important reference. We have to see the current information as well. Now when it pushed down, a huge seller coming in and getting stuck there with no supply at the test. A very, very clean test on 3 minutes. It just came above the low. There is a stopping volume at a reference, again a test. So this is an ideal location for entering a contra trade, even if this entire intraday trend is down. Now this again gave a false break of this range and then again started coming down. was getting buying support whenever it reached this, and our SAR level is also here. It has hit it like thrice, and now need to see how it behaves today. Does it accept below this SAR or not? Basically, this SAR is nothing. It's a weighted average of a volume point of control, and have just added a formula in a custom indicator that as per the price momentum, it keeps on shifting higher when the, suppose if the price is even coming lower, and if there is momentum, then this will push higher, so that whenever a reversal occurs, this can just cope up with that reversal. So generally it behaves very well with short term and intermediate term reversals. Like as of now, it has been long since 8030, and it has not gone into sell mode yet. On the 15 minutes, inverted hammer kind of candle in the opening, doji with indecision and break of that. So if you can see this buyer getting stuck, volume drops in the test, again volume drops in the test, and that is a sign of exhaustion. We get a continuation move down, and finally these buyers are stepping in here. Now the problem with our data is that on an uptick downtick, because this volume came on uptick, looks like a buyer, but on the bid ask it was a seller. Let's have a look at the Renko and see how the Renko has done, how the rotation shaped up. So opening swing was established in this, a break of opening swing, test back, and then impulsive move down. So the impulse started here, tried to test back the opening swing low, again a impulse down, push back up, impulse down, goes sideways into a zipper. This impulse didn't get a continuation. When impulses are not getting continuation, need to be very careful for intraday trades. Now likewise, even this impulse has not got any continuation. There is a zipper forming and comes back, forms a zipper, and again rotates back up. So apart from this one impulsive move down, not much on the Renko clean balance visible here. And we have that highest populated area is the mid of this entire balance. Now this range is going on expanding almost. If we see entire prices have traded within this range. Now as per the POC rule, we cannot extend the composite, but as per the range, we can extend this composite to have a look where is the where is the composite lying as of now. So here you have a very clean double distribution, a bigger balance and then a smaller balance with a HVN at 8433. So now this HVN of this range becomes the LV, and today it has become a LVN. But in any case, important reference going forward. Now the fairest price coming at 8407, 8408. So need to see the close is right there. Quite indecisive that where it wants to go. So still, let's see the likely scenarios. So expecting a flattish kind of open, try to push back above this, try to push through this, fail, make its move down, and I am expecting this as one of the hypotheses that it pushes through these lows, tests back the lows, and then pushes into this 8575 zone. Now, I think every day I'll be talking about this zone, but when it will visit is up to the markets. We cannot rule, we can just have a hypothesis. So, whenever it comes here, I want to see what lies there. Is it able to push back up into this zone, or tries to push back, fails, and then continue its move down into the 8348 zone. On the other hand, if it manages to stay above this and pushes back down into this balance, then it will make its way up, test this 8433, decide there for a while, and if it doesn't reject immediately, suppose if it rejects immediately, then expect it to again fall back towards 8408, and if it accepts there, starts trading for a while, then expect it to push higher and go and test back the highs. So I think we don't need to have a second hypothesis into this, because almost the same we'll carry forward, depending, suppose if it opens here, we'll carry into this, or we can take like this and continue with this. So don't require 2-3 scenarios, because already we have 3 scenarios within. So any of that would then we'll jump onto that scenario and then carry forward with that. Now let's have a look at Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty opened above, inside the range, pushed above and made a nice balance. Now here, when the balance was happening, I was expecting it to push into this 230 zone, but did not happen. And if it had pushed into 230 zone and accepted, then I was expecting a push into the 299 and maybe finish its objective of going higher. Now it has rejected there and fell back down into the range. Try to push into this point of control. Now on this day we have a value here as well as a value here. So it pushed into this, failed, and then got back into the developing value. Almost not a clean balance, but if we merge this zone, this balance zone here, then we have a nice balance with a bit of poor highs, because for Bank Nifty to have this sort of tail is a bit awkward. Needs to be a bigger tail. But even if it's poor, it's going into a reference is a sign of exhaustion if it's not able to hold those highs. Now what we would look at is how it does. If it accepts below this, then expect it to go into this lower balance. Let's see what it did on the 1 minute chart. Now almost similar to what Nifty did, triangle formation, a nice micro balance in 3 periods, and a breakdown from that. Keeps on pushing lower, tries to form another balance, and again breaks down, again another balance, and again a breakdown into the point of control, a rejection. Now here it was not getting any demand on the higher side. Now if you see, there are no stopping volume into this low, but there is no supply here, and when it's trying to push higher, if you see here, there is no demand when it's trying to push higher. So any break of no demand bar is also a sell, and when this no supply comes, any break of the no supply bar high is also a buy. Starts going up, uh, gets a spike here. Now this spike needs to retrace back again, test back up, but that doesn't happen, so we cannot consider that as a up thrust. Now goes into the VWAP, and here again when it pushes back down, no supply, but breaks that no supply, so expectation is that it will come and fill this gap. Didn't happen when it came down first. Again, when it came down first, it's not getting any supply. Tried to push higher into the previous day close. Again, day time frame and control here, goes sideways and very awkward pushes. Fails, breaks the no supply low and pushes back down into the value area low, the developing value area low. So overall, we have a nice balance into this zone and a nice higher balance and one nice lower balance. So we have like 3 distribution on the micro range. If you can see the order flow, yesterday we didn't have much of selling prints. Like now on this day we have lot of selling prints coming in. So have to see if it accepts into this, then it will get weaker, and we just have another micro balance just below the lows. So this low is almost at the midpoint of this balance. Once it starts accepting into this, then expecting it to push into the 18,950 kind of zone and then push lower towards 18,890. So that would be the primary scenario in case if it starts pushing down. Let's have a look at the 15-minute chart. Now some strange volumes coming in Bank Nifty. Lot of absorption happening here, but finally fails, and again leads to an absorption when it pushes down into this balance, but finally breaks down. So almost like huge buyers at the stop at the highs getting stuck, and their stops getting hit and pushing down lower. Now here, when you see these buyers, the sellers are stuck right at the edge, and then buyers doing their job, pushing back into the point of control, and then again coming into the balance low. So if you see, this is a nice balance happening. In case today, if it breaks this low and stays below, we'll be like looking to covering that range which I earlier talked about. Now let's see the Renko, very clean moves, 2-3 impulses. If you can see this now this impulse is getting back down more than 50%. Similarly, this impulse should have pushed into the day mid and then start going lower. Instead of that, it pushed into the highs, retraced back also more than anticipated. But there is a day mid reference here, so we would wait there. Again pushes back above the high, fails. We get a nice balance happening here, and if you see on the volume also a nice balance. Finally, impulse down, push back up, impulse, zipper, impulse, push back into the zipper, again impulse, and finally very distorted range here, but gets into this accepted zone. So what the auction generally does is it wants to go into a prior accepted zone to check whether it can accept lower or does it reject there and push back higher. A nice impulse up, a symmetrical zigzag down, and then impulse continuation. So this was a very good move. Now this impulse, let's see whether it continues today after pulling back here, whether it continues today or not. Now let's see what we can expect So expecting a flat open to the with respect to the close, and push back up into this minor balance. If it finds acceptance there, then push into this higher balance or come back, reject, and push down below this low. Because I would like prefer now to push below this low, push back up to check, and then make its way towards 18090 and 18070 zone. Depending on what it does there, expect it to push down further or bounce back up into the mean. In case if it consolidates into this range, then we'll use the fresh balance, because this will lose value and we'll get a new reference to work with, and then carry it forward from there. That if it pushes here, falls back, then again impulse up into the higher balance fairest price. So again the same thing like Nifty. Now the hypos are almost the same since few days, because it's trying to stay within a range, though Bank Nifty has gone up quite a bit from that balance, but Nifty is not able to like push above the balance. So let's also, while we are here, let's have a look. I was during the day I was checking the stocks and the sectors, and if you can see, let me clear. Adani Ports, the major loser, it at one point of time went more than 3.2% minus from the open, and recovered a bit to go towards minus 2.5%. Almost the majority of stocks trading negative, and the best performer NTPC with a 2.69% rise from the open, with second being Asian Paint and Hero Motor Corp, and then Axis Bank and Hind Unilever. So very few stocks trading more than 1% above the open, most of them trading in negative territory from the open. Weak market, the breadth is weak. So when the breadth is weak, we now see this is also one way to look at Nifty, because we are trading index future, and depends if the broader market within that index, the constituents are not performing well, then obviously the futures premium might get adjusted, it might go up and down, but still the underlying will keep pushing down. Also, let's